Tourism Department, Government of Odisha, Startup Odisha, and FICCI. This is Diksha Tiwari, Senior Manager Operations XCBS, extending a very warm welcome to all our esteemed dignitaries who have joined for the inauguration ceremony of Sport IT 2022. I would like to acknowledge the presence of Founder Sports Hub, Mr. Shashank Mishra, Managing Editor, Sports Architect, Mr. Vikrant Gupta, Secretary General Wrestling Federation of India, Mr. Prasud, the Joint Secretary, Department of Sports and Youth Services, Government of Odisha, Mr. Ranjit Parida, Additional Secretary, Tourism, Government of Odisha, Mr. Durga Prasad Mahapatra. I would also like to acknowledge the presence of Mr. Anshuman Rath, Officer on Special Duty to the Government Department of Tourism, Senior Assistant Director, Sports and Youth Affairs, FICCI, Mr. Samikshan Majumdar, Assistant Director, Sports and Youth Services, FICCI, Mr. Pranav Yadav, of course, the Chairman of Xavier EM Business School, Mr. Ashley Fernandez, and the Dean of Xavier EM Business School, Professor Arun Kumar Paul. All the entrepreneurs who have joined us for this virtual exhibition, and everyone who's watching us live on FICCI's YouTube channel or the bike platform of FICCI right now, a very, very warm welcome to one and all. Being the only Indo-French collaboration in the field of sports industry management in India and the Academic High Performance Center of Excellence of the Odisha government, it's been recently that Xavier EM Business School, a collaboration between Exime University, Bhubaneswar and EM Business School, France, started its journey in India, taking baby steps, but with great responsibility. And Sport IT was one of the very first such initiatives that we took in 2020, to not just do our bit as a responsible education institution, but also to add some value to the sporting ecosystem by bringing stakeholders of this industry together to work towards an inclusive, enabling, and empowering environment for each and everyone who's a part and parcel of this industry today. Entrepreneurial spirit, the spirit to learn as you do and do as you learn, being the mantra of XCBS, this event for us is truly a reflection of what we stand for. And this year, the theme is sports, tourism, and technology. Before we begin, I would like to thank all our esteemed dignitaries who've joined us, the experts and panelists who are joining us for this event, entrepreneurs who have come on board to be a part of this event from different parts of the country, the students who took up the challenge of an innovation contest and took out time for it, the investors who have come on board for this event, AIC Nalanda, our incubation partner, OMC, our sponsor, the entire team of FICCI, the students of XCBS currently pursuing the dual degree master's program of sports industry management, and the social media team of Prelude for the invaluable support to this event. Because I think XCBS, everybody, we believe that when stakeholders come together, we create magic. On that note, I would now request the chairman of XCBS, the India head of EM Business School, and the chairman of the Higher Education Committee, IFCCI, and the man whose vision was to see actually a different school in India through XCBS, to share the welcome remarks. But I would like to say that he's been a little unwell, so please don't mind that. Thank you, Ashley, for taking out time for this despite not being well. So over to you, Ashley. Thank you.
Thank you, Diksha. Honestly, after your introductory remarks, I think I can rest and leave the floor to you, because you've said it all and you've done it all. So thank you for that. Dear friends, I think Diksha has already thanked all our partners and stakeholders, so I will not go through all the length of thanking each and every one of you. But from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, because without you, this would not have been possible. As Diksha just said, as chairman of XCBS, I keep saying that India does not need another school, but India needs a different school. As such, XCBS has been challenging the status quo and has tried to offer a unique value proposition. XCBS has constantly strived to challenge mindsets. The second edition of Sport IT showcases once again this unique value proposition. It expresses what XCBS stands for: innovation. 2 years ago, when we started talking about Sportit, the concept of such an event was pretty hard to convey. But after completing the first edition, I think people realized and were convinced that XCBS had brought to Orissa, and in fact to India, a very innovative setup. The second edition is also definitely driving home the idea of hybridization. It is now a given that education, entrepreneurship, innovation, inclusion, and investment can share the same platform. Any event that would not have all these components would seem now lacking. But let's not forget that hybrid events like these, where people meet, collaborate, and engage, are just a pretext to leverage serendipity. As the first Indo-French B school in India, with a different approach and pedagogy, we have not waited for opportunities, but tried to create them. We are different, and we do different. And this is why the entrepreneurial dimension is paramount. The close connect with industry and corporates are an integral part of the journey as we wish to change the narrative. We encourage our students to transition from job seekers into job makers. So naturally, 30 startups are on board the second edition. Each one of them is striving to make a difference by providing solutions and services, and each one of them will need skillful and knowledgeable human resources to fuel their growth. They will also need financing, and Sportit is also a very unique and innovative platform to interact and seek those opportunities. At the heart of every entrepreneurial journey, there is this risk, but also prospects of reward. Life is not very different. The past 2.5 years have clearly demonstrated that life itself is uncertain. Situations are ambiguous, interactions are complex and volatile. As a higher education institution, we have always strived to impact a community. In difficult times, more than ever, we were reminded that we had to share, care, and dare. Now, in the process of recovery, Sport IT is just another expression of this drive, sharing information, caring for all stakeholders by providing them with new opportunities, and daring them to make a better and inclusive future. The innovative private-public partnerships, the cross-fertilization between sports and tourism, sport as an inclusive and impactful social model are all signs of the very forward thinking of the Orissa government and administration. The ambition of XCBS from day one was always to contribute to this incredible ecosystem. Hopefully, this is exactly what we are doing with Sportit. Innovation, hybridization, impact, and inclusion. I started by acknowledging all the sponsors and partners. Allow me to finish by thanking someone who has been the alpha and omega of this event, someone who has carried and curated this event, making it one of its kind, Diksha Tiwari. She has my most sincere and profound gratitude. So I now encourage all of you to take advantage of this business and professional opportunities created by this digital platform. And I wish you all a great 22 edition of Sportit. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ashley. And I think that was very inspiring. And thank you for the kind words as well. So yes, moving on to everyone who's, like I said, all our entrepreneurs, I think, are watching. And we have with us Shashank Mishra, founder of Sports App, which is India's largest sports community for everything sports. The idea of Sports App came from his personal experience when he was a sport aspirant during his early days. And that pain point actually led him to start this venture, which is a 4-year-old company now and supporting young sport talents. Well, this event, Shashank, has so many startups who are from different parts of the country, and I'm sure some of them are in the space you were 4 years back. So it'll be great to hear your perspective on innovation, effectuation, and inclusion, and well, also education. So over to you, Shashank.
Thanks, Diksha and Ashley for the warm welcome and introduction. I mean, thank you to the XCBS team for starting such initiative to promote and support young startups. I mean, it is definitely required because there is not much support from the venture capital world for physical sports from the thesis point of view, and less space understanding as well. I mean, this early capital that they will get from here will definitely help them to build a proof of concept to get accepted further for future funding round to grow. I mean, as per the Economic Times report last year, a total of $77 billion of funding was invested in Indian companies last year. I mean, that was 62% more than what was invested in 2020. So India, being a growing market, is seeing a flood of investment coming in early stage companies, but the larger piece of it is going towards fintech, edtech, etc. And physical sports are finding it hard to take a piece of it because of the less quick growth compared to what fintech and edtech companies are showing. So investments are coming, but because of sectorial favoritism, you can say physical sports startups are actually missing out of those. On the other hand, we were lucky to be backed by angel investors in our early stage. I mean, to build proof of concept, which allowed us to get backed by venture capitalists later. We, being the category creator of this space, trying hard to build understanding of this space to the VC world so that others like us in future can have that access to the VC investments. And why not? I mean, thanks to kudos to the Odisha government as well for their efforts to improve the sports ecosystem. These efforts are a great enabler for startups like us, which is trying to build India's largest sports community for everything sports, to enable access, empowerment, exposure, and one-stop shop to grow and do well. So special thanks to them. Currently, we have like more than 1 million sports aspirant users on our technology platform, getting easy access to resources they need early in their career. Because athletes in India, I mean, only get the much needed support, attention, eyeballs when they make it big and reach to the top of the pyramid, right? So we are not just focusing on top 1% of the talents to support like others. We are covering the overall pyramid from top to bottom to build a strong pipeline on our app, which is providing much needed support, access to resources, exposure to the overall community, etc., to empower more sports stars of tomorrow. So it feels great to contribute to the sports ecosystem with our work. Again, I mean, thank you so much for inviting me in this inaugural ceremony to put forward my perspective and experience. Thank you, Diksha.
Thank you so much, Shashank. I'm sure, like you said, I think you very well pointed out certain problems which I think currently a lot of entrepreneurs who are into this sector are facing, and it's a very valid point. But I think there's hope when you look at people like you, and that there's definitely hope for entrepreneurs. And yes, you're right. If like you've just spoken about the Odisha government, I think if stakeholders come together, that's what I've been saying, that sports as an industry is as it is niche, and it's not a very large sector right now with the kind of opportunities. If we all come together, I think it can just grow and get better for each and every stakeholder here. So thank you so much for your viewpoint. Well, we're talking about a sporting ecosystem, and how can we not discuss the role media has to play. We are privileged to have with us the sports editor, TV Today Network, Aaj Tak, India Today, Mr. Vikrant Gupta. We've all seen him on the screen a couple of times. We're also so many times, and we're also seeing him on screen right now, a different kind of screen though. So, and his bio, I liked it. It says, a failed cricketer, still in love with the sport, lucky to be paid to eat, sleep, drink cricket. And though we are talking here about inclusion, I would definitely like to hear his version on cricket versus the rest of the sports discipline, and how does that work when it comes to the overall growth of the industry and sports person, particularly in a post-pandemic world. Where do you see this trend evolving and changing? And yes, we would love to hear your viewpoint, from you, sir. So over to you, Vikrantji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Diksha, and to all the dignitaries, very warm afternoon. It cannot be cricket versus the rest. I think it's got to be cricket and the rest. And so long as we all thought it was cricket versus the rest could never prosper. But the moment you started to realize that it can be cricket and the rest can also coincide, do well, that is when I think the sporting ecosystem in India is doing well. See, I grew up in a generation when India won gold medal in hockey in 1980 at the Moscow Olympics. 84, no medal. 88, no medal. 92, no medal. 1996. So 16 years had gone by when India won one bronze medal, when Leander Pace won a medal in Atlanta. Then Sydney was one more. 2004 was one more. Till we had 3 in Beijing. Then we had 6 in London. Rio was a disaster. And we say disaster, even though India won 2 medals. And the last one was, I think, the best Olympics that we've ever had, which means that there are other sports which are also doing well. Indigenous sports, badminton is doing well. You've got wrestling, you've got boxing, you've got other sports as well. So I think the moment our sporting ecosystem gets this out of our mind that it is cricket versus the rest, I think we will not progress. There have been other leagues, not just the IPL. I think the IPL isn't just an example. I'm sure Ranjeev is also there. IPL is not just an example for India or for Indian sports. It was an example for world sports. I mean, look at the leagues that IPL is challenged. I mean, just to give you an idea, and since we are talking about the playground and the boardroom as well, the TV rights are up for grabs, the next 5-year cycle. And the last time Star Sports paid 16,500 crore rupees for a 5-year rights circle. 16,500 crore rupees. And I remember when the IPL began, the first contract Sony got was for some 9 crore rupees a year. And the last one was some 3,300 rupees a year. Now this one, the base price is $32,500 crore rupees. So they are expecting that the TV rights will fetch them about 45,000 crore to 50,000 crore rupees. So from 9 crore a year in 2008, it can actually touch 10,000 crore rupees. 9 crore to 10,000 crore rupees a year if the cycle goes well, which means that there is money in the market. I mean, I keep hearing about the recession and all. One IPL team was bought for more than $1 billion. So there must be some market in the market. The only thing is that I think people want value. They want eyeballs. They want this, they want that. The pandemic challenged not just the sporting world, it has also challenged the media. I mean, unfortunately, for 6 months, there was no sporting action around the world. I don't think this may have ever happened. I mean, even during the world wars, there would have been some countries which would have played some sport or the other. So for 6 months or 4 months, there was no sport anywhere in the world. That is where we lost out on a few things. And that is where we devised a few things. I mean, technology, for instance, it has come in now. If pandemic hadn't happened, Diksha, I'm sure you would have planned this conclave at a place. You know, it would have been an offline event. So these are the things that we've learned. It's just that sport did suffer. The media also suffered. I mean, look at the coverage that you have. Newspapers can't send their reporters. TV channels are not sending their reporters because there is money crunch. Also because of the bio bubbles, the players are not available. But where the rest of the sports need to learn from cricket is that they need to be very, very media savvy, very, very media friendly, which they're not. I mean, I still remember, with due apology, hockey, the team had been doing well in 2003 and 4. And there was a camp happening at the National Stadium in Delhi, the Indian National Camp. So we sent out a team to just go and cover the camp. They were thrown out. So whatever the media may have tried, there are shortcomings. And I'm very happy that the Odisha government supported the hockey team when India won the medal in Tokyo. I mean, even if, you know, I'm more pro cricket or a cricket journalist, I don't think there would have been any Indian sports lover who won't have had moist eyes that day. I mean, everybody had their hockey story. I mean, Olympics was hockey. Hockey was Olympics for us. And that is where the Odisha government has done well. We need more initiatives. We need people with good intent. I mean, there is money to be made, I'm sure, for corporates. They would not have any lunches free. They can be, the money can be made, but it's just that you need the right intent. If the money also goes to the sportsman, it is spent on the sportsman, that is when we'll arrive as a sporting country. And I'm very happy and very thankful to you, Diksha, for this initiative. And I'm sure something good comes out now.
Thank you so much. I think what I really, I mean, a lot of points that you've covered, but you know what really touched me would be the fact that you said the intent. I think that's very important. I mean, if you have the right intent to make a change and work towards the change, it always works. And
Exactly.
even for us, this entire platform and this event, you know, bringing together these startups, bringing together government, bringing together media, bringing together industry experts is just about the right intent that we have, you know, had for this entire ecosystem. So thank you so much, Vikrantji. This was This was really, really good. Thank you. Thank you really so much. Well, we also have today with us, Secretary General Wrestling Federation of India, Mr. V.N. Prasud, also the Executive Council member, Indian Olympic Association, a veteran wrestler with more than 50 years of experience in the sport. He has been an accomplished international referee for 30 years, Director of Competition Wrestling India since 2008, Jury Chairman and Convener of Selection Committee of Indian Wrestling, represented India as a referee in 42 international competitions, technical expert in wrestling at the Netaji Subhash National Institute of Sports, has been team manager for the wrestling team of India for Olympics 2016, Asian Games 2018, Commonwealth Games 2018 as well. And I would just like to add that, when he started his journey, he made aspiring wrestlers look towards South when North was dominating actually the scenario. So it's a pleasure to have you, Mr. Prasud, and we would like to hear your address now. Over to you, Mr. Prasud. Thank you so much. So you would have to unmute, sir.
Thank you very much. First of all, thanks to invited me for attend this function, and also welcome to all the dignitaries attending this function. First of all, I was very busy. I joined another Zoom meeting. In between, I rejoined this with I discussed some matter with my president also on Zoom. So I got permission to 2 minutes for joining this your function. Anyway, first of all, I congratulate the Orissa government for they given a lot of encouragement for the field of sports in India, especially in hockey. And actually, I know that in the future, only for the Indian sports can develop the sports industries management with the help of the sports industries management. Anyway, I congratulate and I hope to develop the sports in India through the support of government and sports industries management group. I thank you. I thank you very much for to give us few minutes for something to say regarding in favor of your subject. Thank you very much. Can you accept? I can leave from this meeting for join the another Zoom meeting. Thank you very much.
That's okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your kind words. It's okay. I totally understand. When it's a virtual event, these are convenient for people to handle between two events as well. Thank you so much for joining, sir. No problem, sir. You can join.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have amidst us Joint Secretary, Sports and Youth Services, Government of Orissa, Shri Ranjit Parida, and I would like to start by congratulating him and the entire sports department. The countdown for the much-awaited Hockey World Cup started with the launch of the logo for the same by Honorable Mr. Naveen Patnaik just yesterday evening. And Orissa sports model, as we all know, is today definitely a success story that has caught the attention of the entire country. And I would like him to shed a bit of light on this, whether it's in terms of infrastructure, whether it's in terms of bringing in events, or also for the growth of sports persons. Could I request Mr. Prasud to unmute? Yes, thank you so much. So, could I request Ranjit sir to now give his address? So you'll have to unmute and then. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Very good afternoon to all of you. I wanted to convey my commission cum secretary couldn't be here because he really wanted to be here, but due to some pressing engagement from the higher quarters, so he couldn't be here. So, as you know, this is the second edition of Sports IT, and we are super excited because the first one was the stupendous success, and it gives us immense pleasure to be associated with people from all around the country who are equally passionate about sport, and this unique platform actually is serving a good purpose for us as well. So we know sport is coming of age in India, and that passion is also failing our state government to embrace sport in a more professional manner. And our footprint is not just with organizing events, we are more of into grassroots. We are embracing technology in sport with the launch of the host of sports science centers and all, Center of Excellence in Sports Science. This is Abhinav Bindra Targeting Performance Center. So uh, government is going through a lot these days, and I must congratulate the team of XCBS for providing such a wonderful platform to these budding entrepreneurs who want to be with sport, which was not a case maybe a couple of years ago. So this particular platform has given a lot of hope for us as well. And I take this opportunity to also convey the department's intent to support few of these budding entrepreneurs, these startups who want to take up sport as an enterprise, and government of Odisha has a clear intent to support them financially and also through all other means as well. So I once again congratulate the team of XCBS for putting up such a spectacular show. And the pandemic has marred our ambitions. Our I mean, everything was in a different mode for the last couple of years. But I see things are opening up, and also this particular platform, maybe it's a harbinger of greater times, better times for sport. So my sincere thanks to all who have taken time out to be here for this meeting, for this inaugural session, and my best wishes to the startups. For the next couple of days, they'll be showing their price, and we are excited, super excited to work with a few of these startups in their journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. I think particularly for all the entrepreneurs who are right now listening to the inaugural ceremony from the platform, they would be super excited as well. Thank you so much for your kind words. Moving on, we have with us Additional Secretary Tourism, Government of Odisha, Mr. Durga Prasad Mahapatra. Odisha, as you all know, called India's best kept secret, is today in the bucket list of travelers across the country and outside for the positive and encouraging changes the sector has undergone to attract tourists. Sports tourism, in fact, is something which was pioneered by Odisha in 2018 with the Men's Hockey World Cup. With the theme of our event centered around sports tourism and technology, it'll be now a pleasure to request Mr. Mahapatra for his address.
Thank you, Diksha. Good afternoon to all the dignitaries. First of all, I must congratulate for conceptualizing such kind of platform wherein the budding talents will get opportunities to explore themselves and to establish themselves in the economic sector also. Because today is the age of startup. Self-employment is the real strategy. And basing on this particular discussion and interactive session, I'm sure these budding talents will emerge as victorious. And Mr. Vikrant is a famous journalist, was talking about the sports and other sectors, cricket and other sectors. Let me share my personal story about that. Every Indian is a sports lover. In the childhood, when I was starting to read the newspaper, I'll start from the last page because all the sports events will be there. And I'll start reading from the sports itself, and we'll come back to the front page later on, which I'll usually forget. But I'll remember all the sports events, what are the personalities, what has happened in the World Cup, in the cricket, in the football, in rugby, whatever it may be. So every Indian is a sports lover. And this is a unique opportunity where we are combining sports with tourism. And especially, so far as Odisha is concerned, it's a unique state. Nature has also gifted us wonderful and attractive destinations, be it golden sandy beaches, lakes and waterfalls, forest and wildlife, rivers. There are plenty of offerings from our side, and we are exploring all the possibilities to provide these niche tourism offers to all the tourists. Apart from that, we have historical monuments, pilgrims, temples, palaces, heritage sites, art and architecture, handloom, art and craft. So basically, Odisha is capable of providing varied experiences to different tourists. And we are leaving no stone unturned to explore these possibilities, to provide the best possible experience to a tourist. So far as our activities are concerned, initially our approach was to develop the infrastructure only of the tourist destination so that it will attract the tourists. But now we have changed our approach, and there is a paradigm shift since last 2 to 3 years. We are now in a position to prepare the master plan for major destinations where the economic activities will flourish, where the private investment will come, and people will go for night stay. So night stay accommodation is our primary focus, apart from Bhubaneswar, where we are, several 4 and 5-star hotels are coming up very recently. We are also targeting several small cities where such kind of 3-star and 4-star accommodation facilities can come up by facilitating through promoters. And of course, tourism at the center works like a connecting point to all the departments in our state government. So you cannot segregate tourism from any particular department. And sports, as you know, Odisha has already emerged as a sports capital of India. And a lot of efforts has been given by our state government to improve the infrastructure. The hard part and soft part, both the parts have been taken care of by the government, and which has been applauded by all. And in fact, my earlier speakers were also talking about that. So the commitment, the force, we are committed to develop the sports arena as per our potential, and we highlight our state that we are committed to develop the sports ecosystem which are required to be done. So far as the tourism is concerned, we, apart from the master plan planning, we are also, as you know, I have already pointed out, we are focusing on night stay facilities. And just an indicator of that, during the last years, we have almost approved 78 projects of 2,700 crores investment in tourism sector only. And we have a policy of tourism policy, and we are also redefining it so that the policy will attract the investors also to invest in tourism sector, as well as how the tourism projects will be executed in a hassle-free manner. We are also focusing on that. So that indicates our also commitment to the tourism projects. Starting from the glamping eco-retreat festival to Odisha by Road campaign, and of course, through local cuisine, we are in a process of renovating ourselves to highlight and to promote all the tourism ventures which are available in our state. Let me just give an indication. We started a Nimantran chain of restaurants where Odia local cuisine will be served to the people. Initially, we are a little bit skeptical because today is the age of grilled, tandoor and kebab, whether people will really like this local cuisine. So we started lowering down the business model. Let us think something different. People may not like it. Let us explore the possibilities. And once it goes on, then we can find out more solutions for that. But fortunately, and more interestingly, the business was extremely high, and per month it was around 1 lakh. So the people will definitely like. It is the risk-taking ability which matters. And the entrepreneurs, those who are connected to this platform, please try to take the risk. Risk will ultimately give the result. But understand the sentiment, understand the ecosystem, understand the position. That is very critical. Unless and until you understand the sentiments of the person to whom you are offering your product, it may not be acceptable in future. Secondly, we are also in a process of launching several new projects. Cruise, caravan tourism, yacht tourism. This is under our active consideration. It has already started. We have already started discussing with several experts also. Apart from that, we are also focusing on the entrepreneurship model attached with tourist destinations, because once the hard part is developed, the infrastructure is developed, operation and maintenance is also a very difficult affair for the state government. And we are thinking twice how to do it, how to attach with entrepreneurs so that these units are operated and utilized properly so that it gives the best kind of facilities to the tourists. So Orissa is virtually working ahead, working in tandem with sports department. And, several infrastructures, Mr. Parida was talking about the initiative taken by the sports and the youth services department. Infrastructural development is going on in sports department. And we are in the process of promoting tourism by jointly working with sports department, because once we have already organized so many mega events, starting from the Asian Athletic Championship, World Cup Hockey, Rowing Championship, Pro League, whatever it may be. We have been able to convince the world that we are the best organizers and we are committed to organize it smoothly and seamlessly. And that will also continue in our future. So what exactly we are planning, promotion is an integral part of the infrastructure development also. Only development of infrastructure may not be able to attract the tourists because you need to promote them. So this is a golden opportunity for tourism department where we're going to organize the World Cup Hockey. Now we'll definitely try to be a part of this ecosystem, how to give a specific package to this sporting arena so that the people, those who come, those who travel from either from the domestic side or from the global level, they will be attracted, they will visit the tourist destination and will carry a different kind of impression about our state and bringing more travelers to our state. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Mahapatra. I think, in fact, very, very validly said. And we are all looking forward to the World Cup now. And yes, that's a model that definitely works when you organize global events. And when then there are tourists coming in, to watch the matches, to be a part of the events. Tourism also gets promoted, which is where, which is what Odisha did during the 2018 World Cup. And I'm sure it has been a lot of states have taken a cue from that. And I'm sure sports tourism as a sector will definitely grow in the days to come. So on that note, I would also like to inform before we, request the Dean for the vote of thanks, I would like to inform you the Honorable Minister, Sports and Youth Services, Shrutuchar Kanti Behra, because of, again, a pressing engagement. He had to leave and he was not able to join the event, but he sent us a message and he's always been there with XCBS, for which we are very, very thankful to him. And we would like to just, look at the message that he has for the XCBS family. So can we play the message, please?
It gives me immense pleasure that XCBS is organizing its second edition of Sport IT, and I remember it being quite engaging and a huge success in its first edition. Unique in its concept and flawless in its execution, it was widely appreciated by the people in and associated with Odisha sports ecosystem. Since then, despite the challenges of the COVID pandemic, this Center of Excellence has grown leaps and bounds and launched its dual masters program, and I commend the entire team of XCBS led by Mr. Ashley Fernandez, who has been instrumental in taking this program to such great heights and organizing the second edition of Sport IT with aplomb. At this Sport IT platform, we hope great young minds can come together, deliberate, exchange ideas and explore the professional and entrepreneurial opportunities, especially between the two countries, India and France. I wish all the participants the very best in their endeavors.
Thank you. Thank you so much to Honorable Minister. And like I said, he's been instrumental in our journey. He's always been there for us. So thank you so much for your great wishes. I would now request the Dean of XCBS, the other pillar of strength for the Institute, Professor Arun Kumar Paul, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Diksha. And Honorable Minister who could not be here with us, but he was kind enough to send a message, and he has been always support and guided us throughout our events and activities. Moving on to, I would also like to mention Mr. Vinil Krishna. From the very first certificate program onwards, he has been supporting us, and he has been actively, guiding us in our activities. And Additional Secretary Tourism, Mr. Durga Prasad Mohapatra, thank you very much for being with us. I know it's a very special day, kind of a lot of activities, events, and holidays kind of thing coming, but thank you for spending time with us. We really understand that tourism is a central activity, especially in a state like Odisha, and added to that sports and adventures, and it becomes a more successful mix, both for tourism and sports. So thank you very much, and sure we'll work in those lines. Deputy Secretary, Mr. Ranjit Parida, Sports and Youth Services Department. I'm sure, we are very lucky to have the departmental support. And Mr. Parida, thank you very much for being with us. Mr. V.N. Prasud, who is not with, he had to leave for other meeting. Thank you very much. And of course, sports and wrestling as kind of a neglected, but very prominent and promising sports in India. So possibly we'll have your guidance in our activities as well in future. Mr. Vikrant Gupta, Managing Editor, Sports, and who is cricket and other sports. I really agree that that's the kind of view we should have. It's not cricket and others. Has to be synergy, and of course, cricket is a kind of a big brother, if I may say so. But thank you, Mr. Vikrant Gupta, for your insight and being with us here. Mr. Shashank Mishra, the founder, the real entrepreneur here around for Sports App, which is a kind of one of the largest virtual platform for connecting everything sports. So thank you, Mr. Shashank Mishra, and hopefully this sported event, which is a unique mix of sports, sports industry, technology, tourism, innovation, and entrepreneurship. I'm sure your presence will be quite encouraging for many promising entrepreneurs that may be connecting us through live platforms. Thank you very much. Mr. Ashley Fernandez, our chairman, joint board, XCBS. And of course, he has been very active in whatever we're doing. Without his guidance and active participation, things would not happen the way it is happening. So thank you, Mr. Fernandez. In spite of being not in a good shape for a couple of days, he's joining from France. So good morning and merci beaucoup. Finally, Diksha, she has been the pillar of everything that is happening here, conceptualizing, planning, and organizing. So Diksha, thank you for the tremendous amount of effort that she has put in. At XCBS, we have a very small team. So Mr. Ankit is another manager operations with us. And we have the first batch of dual degree program students. They're also actively involved in this event. So thank you to them as well. We have media partners who are maybe watching us online. So thank you for being with us. And we request the media partners to give us wide publicity, positive publicity that will help us to move ahead and do a few things more than we are doing now. We'd like to mention few organizations and agencies who have done more support. So we start with FICCI, Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry. The event that will be virtually held in a platform called BIKE, which I understand is for business, information, knowledge, and education. So FICCI has allowed us to use that platform. XCBS is using that for the first time. So as Diksha mentioned right in the beginning, hopefully everything will go well, and then let's see how it goes for 2 days event. Tourism Department, Industries Department, and Odisha Mining Corporation has extended their support in terms of financial and sponsorship as well, financial help. So thank you very much for that support. Startup Odisha, Atal Incubation Centers are always being part of this, the first version as well as the second version, because innovation and incubation is a very integral part of sports and sports ecosystem that we have. So with this, the formal vote of thanks, I think the inaugural ceremony comes to an end. I hand it back to Diksha. Unmute.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Professor Arun. Yes, like I said at the beginning, thank you to all our partners, all our, everybody who's been a part of this event in any little way, even if you have left out someone, we would like to thank them in case we have forgotten. But really, even the students, I would like to really particularly mention that the students, under the supervision of Ankit, they've also been working hard for this event. And in case for the startups, I would like to give them a message that we are doing this for the first time on a platform. There will be pitching sessions. There are going to be panel discussions happening simultaneously. In case there are some issues, please bear with us. But this is something that we're just trying to do to create an enabling environment for all of you. And most of all, I would like to thank all our esteemed dignitaries who have graced this inaugural ceremony. I would now request, in fact, Ranjit sir and Mahapatra sir, you could just switch on your mic and say the exhibition is open so that we start the virtual exhibition for the startups. It goes open, and we'll request all the dignitaries also to take out time to visit the platform. It's pretty simple. We've been, popularizing it on social media as well. And you could visit the auditorium area for the panel discussions and the exhibition area for meeting and interacting with the entrepreneurs. So we'll request both Ranjit sir and Mahapatra sir to switch on the mics and announce that the exhibition is open. So both of you have to unmute. Yes.
Yeah. I'll request my senior colleague, sir, to just.
Ranjit should start, and I'm ready to cope up.
Yeah. So hereby I formally announce the exhibition is on.
Yes, the exhibition is open.
Absolutely. So looking forward to all your presence for the pitching sessions as well now. And thank you, everybody. This means a lot for you to take out time for this inaugural ceremony. A big thank you to all FICCI members, everybody who's here. Without your support, this wouldn't have been possible. So a big thank you to everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you so much.